Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coin Bureau. I have a special guest with me on the stream today. It is none other than Justin Sun, one of the most well-known, well-recognized faces in all of crypto. Justin has been in the crypto space for years now, is well known as the founder of Tron, and many other things besides. Justin, thank you for joining me today. It's great to get this opportunity to talk with you.
Yes, definitely.
So let's start, Justin. Let's talk about Tron, if we may. Now, I know you're not as involved with Tron as you used to be in the past, but
Yes.
I wanted to ask, like Tron at the moment, one of its main use cases is as the kind of go-to blockchain for stablecoins.
Yes.
Can I ask though, what sectors, what other niches do you think Tron is going to fill in the future? What else can we expect from the project?
Yes. For Tron strategy, I think the number one priority still is stablecoin. Even though I think Tron today is the go-to place for stablecoin, but there is still a lot of things we need to accomplish here. First of all, is the variety choice of stablecoin. So currently, right, everyone is familiar with USDT on Tron, but right now we actually collaborate with TUSD, USDC on launching other centralized stablecoin and the regulated stablecoin on top of Tron. And we are also collaborate with other regulated financial institutions to issue, for example, like JPY, Hong Kong dollar, CNH on top of Tron network as well. So I think that's the first thing. And also at the same time, decentralized stablecoin is also very important. So last year, we collaborate with USDD, USDJ, and launched the decentralized stablecoin on top of Tron. But right now, we still need lots of the work to continue to promote decentralized stablecoin on top of Tron. So, which I think is also a very important segment for stablecoin. I think besides stablecoin, of course, I think the next step is RWA and the DeFi, so which is built on top of stablecoin, right? So this year, I think just like 3 months ago, we collaborate with STUSDT.io on launching the RWA, first RWA protocol on top of Tron, and also supports Ethereum as well. So basically, you can get a very good liquidity withdraw within 1 or 2 days, but also invest into short-term government T-bills. But basically, you can get around 4 to 5% of the yield. At the same time, you can use those products in the decentralized lending protocol like DeFi Lego. But at the same time, you can get yield. So it's kind of like Lido ETH, right? So basically, you can get the yield at the same time, and you can use those products to increase liquidity. So I think that's RWA, and also of course DeFi. So Tron has developed lots of DeFi products such as Just Land, and
Mhm.
also Sun.io, SunSwap, which focus on the token swap, trading, and also lending, decentralized lending protocol. And other than that, we also spend lots of time on decentralized gaming and NFT, right? So we have Wing and NFT, Ape NFT platform for trading NFT and GameFi on top of Tron. So I think today, so we are doing things in this kind of the priority to make sure the product is good, and also everyone enjoy the blockchain infrastructure.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think, I mean, that's a lot of particular niches that Tron is looking to, to
Yes.
support. Do you think
Yes.
Do you think Tron can become as big, support as big an ecosystem as other big layer ones, like for instance Ethereum in the future?
Yes.
Is that the kind of overall plan?
Yes. So first of all, I'm a big fan for multi-chain. So I think in the future, the more blockchain we have, um, the more decentralized we will get, right? So that's why I think I'm a big fan for multi-chain. But I think for in terms of Tron itself, I'm super confident it's gonna become like one of the most popular blockchain in the next like 10 like 20 years. One of the reason is because the tvl on the blockchain, right? So I think right now, Tron has on the Tron blockchain, has holding the value, I think, almost equivalent to Ethereum. Right now, all the values on Tron blockchain is around $50 billion, which is a very big number. And the total value lock on Tron network is also has surpassed um, um, $13 billion. And the Tron is handling over $12 billion transaction, every transaction, every day. So that's why I think Tron has gained a big momentum, and Tron protocol in terms of the protocol revenue has surpassed Bitcoin. So that's why I think, even though right now, the revenue is still smaller than Ethereum, but I think we will get there. So that's why I think Tron blockchain right now has a huge potential.
Sorry to interrupt you folks, but I have to let you know about the Coin Bureau deals page. Now, my team and I have been able to pull together some of the best promos and discounts in the crypto space. We're talking trading fee discounts of over 50%, thousands of dollars in bonus airdrops, amazing deals at top exchanges, reduced prices on hardware wallets, and much, much more besides. So just go to coinbureau.com/deals, also linked to below, and find the promo suited to you. Enjoy the rest of the video.
Great. And Justin, one thing I wanted to touch on as well. We're both actually in Singapore at the moment,
Yes.
speaking speaking remotely because of scheduling. But
Yes.
obviously, Token 2049 is happening at the moment. Really big event.
Yes.
What I want something I wanted to ask you was, obviously, as I said in the intro, you are really deeply involved with so many aspects of the crypto ecosystem. Um, can I ask you about regulations, and in particular, can you give me your view on crypto regulations in Asia? Because I feel that this is a good time to be talking about Asia and the Asian market.
Yes, sure, definitely. So I think for the global compliance map, right? So I think the crypto regulation, the best regulation I believe is in Mid American and Caribbean states. Caribbean states. That I think that's the most friendly region, right? So like Dominica, for example, Dominica, as a country, has adopted like TRX, BTT as one, USDT and TUSD on Tron as their legal tender, right? So
Yeah.
basically, and also we see El Salvador, right, adopt like Bitcoin as their legal tender. So that's why I think Mid American and the Caribbean has been the most friendly crypto region. And the second, I think, is Asia. So Asia is the second, I think, most friendly region for crypto, and then it's Europe and Africa, which I'm thinking right now is kind of like undecided, right? But still, we have seen the regulation emerging in those regions. But the toughest one, of course, is U.S. and Canada, right? So I think that's like the regulation overall, the regulation map globally. So that's why I think Asia actually is good. It's the second most friendly region. I think, for example, right, Korea and Japan has regulated crypto, right? So all the exchange and crypto in those regions has received license. So has no difference compared to trading stocks in Nasdaq, basically, right? So for Korea and Japan, and for Hong Kong and Singapore, I think the regulation is following, right? And Thailand, of course, I think Thailand also regulated crypto, and the Malaysia, Indonesia, those regions will follow as well. So that's why I think for Asia is definitely one of the most friendly place for crypto. And for myself, of course, I spent lots of time in Asia. I visited like Korea last week, and Japan in WebEx. So totally for myself, I think I have confidence for the region, because even though I think Latin America and Caribbean is the most friendly place, but of course I think in terms of the population, economic growth, um, Asia is still the most powerful place, right? So that's why I think as long as Asia is moving, U.S. regulation will change eventually. So that's why I think currently we have put most of our energy in Asia.
Okay. And of course, I mean, Asia has so many crypto users. It's not just about regulation, but I think people across Asia, I mean, for instance, places like Thailand and Vietnam have immense amounts of actual users, people using crypto in everyday life, to pay for goods and services, to remit money, etc., etc. Rather than kind of the pure speculation that we see in a lot of other jurisdictions. So I guess kind of like Asia is ripe for good regulation. It's got kind of all the things in place to perhaps become maybe the next center of crypto if things continue to shift away from the United States. Do you think that's something that could realistically happen?
Yes, I agree with you. For example, right, USDT, USDC, TUSD on Tron actually widely used in like Vietnam, Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, those countries you say. The one of the reason is because U.S. dollar is kind of like take for granted for Westerners because they all got bank account, right? Very easy to deposit their money into bank account. But for Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, those people has very hard to get access to U.S. dollar in the first place. So I think the average cost for every user to get even uh even like a USD bank account probably is $500 or even $1,000. It's not because of like when they open those bank accounts, people charge them for that. It's because
Yeah.
there is no bank actually receive US dollars in those regions in the first place. For example, if like anyone in the Thailand, if they want to get US dollars account, they might need to go to Bangkok to open bank account, right? And those banks, they only open bank accounts for people have certain amount of the money, right? They can get a bank opened. So that's why blockchain, for example, Tron actually provide like everyone with a most convenient way to holding their money. Open blockchain addresses cost is zero, right? Anyone with smartphone can open like a Tron account like instantly, and also they can receive stablecoin after that, right? They can holding like US dollars, which that's why I believe the blockchain actually is for the people unbanked, right? To get bank. So that's why I think blockchain even has um, um, more basically a promising future than United States, which reminds me of back 10 years ago in China when lots of people started to adopt like Alipay, one of the reason Alipay is more like internet payment, right? Alipay get like super popular in China, like everyone has Alipay account. It's because Chinese people do not use credit card because of China is when China get into the financial world, it's already like internet era, right? So nobody use credit card. They direct jump into internet payment. But for US, one of the reason for the penetration rate of PayPal is very small compared to Alipay. It's because most of the people in United States still using credit card these days, right? So even they want to make payment, they use credit card instead of like directly use like internet payment. So I think that's the huge difference here.
Yeah. It's fascinating. The more I dig into crypto and the more I learn more about other jurisdictions, other areas of the world, how like it's easy to forget because yeah, I'm from the UK. We're used to
Yes.
using credit and debit cards there, but it's
Yes.
fascinating to hear about people using Alipay and is it Tencent as well in China that's very big.
Yes. Yes. Tencent Pay,
Yeah.
WeChat Pay. Yes, WeChat Pay.
Yeah, WeChat Pay. That's right. And then
Yes.
you've got things in Africa like M-Pesa, in parts of Kenya and other parts of Africa. And
Yes.
yeah, it's fascinating to see how different parts of the world, use do payments in different ways. And I guess
Yes.
Asia being sort of quite technologically minded in that sense makes it again like a good ground for crypto adoption.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Justin, can I ask just a couple more things? So we were talking earlier about some of the things that Tron is going to explore in the future and going to support. Are there any particular crypto niches that you think are going to be particularly exciting, particularly big over the next couple of years? Obviously, we've talked about stablecoins a lot, and I think the use cases for them are pretty clear, and that's already one of the biggest sectors of crypto at the moment. Are there any other particular ones, particular niches that you think are going to perhaps, become more prominent over the next couple of years?
Yes. I think for current Tron strategy, we are basically focus on all different types of the um, um, demands surrounding stablecoin. So I think after we are building basically right $40 billion, $50 billion worth of the stablecoin, which I think will continue to grow probably in the next 5-10 years. We are still thinking about building, for example, RWA, like a fixed yield product on top of Tron, and also like payday loan, P2P loans, which people, for example, people in the in UK can lend money to people in Kenya, right? Just by peer-to-peer lending, right? So which is also a very important use case, I think, because right now these days for people in UK, right, if you want to lend money in Africa, it's very hard to do that. Because the traditional finance, TradFi, has a lot of the obstacles, prevent this from happening. But I think on the blockchain, peer to peer, like instant settlement, right, this is definitely possible. We have like 1.0 era of the lending. Here is just land, RV compound. But I think next level gonna be the peer-to-peer lending around like globally, right? Basically, I think people can get yield from the stablecoin they hold, and the people can lend stablecoin, right? To do business or payment, So that's something we are focusing on to provide a good um, basically services for people to lend money and to borrow money in the space.
It sounds a bit, Justin, like you're kind of going back a little bit to some of the roots of crypto, which I mean, I remember a few years ago we heard the phrase "bank the unbanked" quite a lot,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that I think that narrative seems to have been perhaps forgotten a little bit over perhaps all the kind of retail frenzy and stuff like that. It's
Yes.
like,
Yes.
you know. it became perhaps a little bit of a cliche, but it still seems that you guys, at Tron and elsewhere, it still seems that there is that focus is coming back into play now. It is about bringing people into a financial system that they've been locked out of.
Exactly. So I think Tron right now we have over 180 million users, right? So, but still, I believe this number is relevant small in the future, because I think in the future probably we can bring like 8 billion people on Earth all into crypto world, and it is no one says like there's a rule like only one person can get one bank accounts, right? So that's why I believe like in the future like everyone can get probably 10 accounts, which 8 billion people on earth probably have 80 billion accounts, right? So that's why I think crypto is still in a very early stage, and we still probably only have like 1 or 2% of the penetration rate here. So we are still fighting for to get like 80%, 90% in the next 5, 10 years.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy time, and I guess you were talking about a kind of multi-chain future, and I suppose there's a lot of work to be done behind the scenes. As you say, if people are going to have different accounts and stuff, they're going to have to be able to move between chains kind of
Yes.
seamlessly, aren't they?
Yes.
There's a lot of infrastructure still to be built.
Exactly. Yes. Crypto is still in a very early stage. So even myself is not satisfied with the things we built at all. Even though I have built those things for almost 10 years now. But still, I understand. I talk with customers like every day, right? I know their frustration. I know like they are not happy or satisfied with the product we build. Even I think it's way better than the traditional finance, but still there's a lot of things we need to get done. So I think probably for the next 10 years we will have a better product.
Great. There's a lot of work to do.
Yes.
Justin, just before I let you go, because I know how busy you are, but can I just
Yes.
ask one more question? It's more of a personal question. I'm
Yes.
just really fascinated to know, like, you're one of the most well-known people in crypto. You've been in the space for a very long time.
Yes.
Everyone in the industry knows who you are and knows the work that you've done. Can I just ask you what that's like? How you deal with that on a personal level, and how you
Yes.
deal with the kind of scrutiny of it all?
Yes. So for me, I mean, a typical day, most of the time I work like 12 hours per day. I break the 12 hours into 4 hours, for a slot, right? So basically, I think it's more like I can work one day at like 3 days, right? Because I have like for some of the people probably they only work like 4 hours a day. So for me, right, it's like 3 days. So I break into these three slots and allocate to probably internal management, right? Talk to the team, interview for the new employee, and also I allocate some of the time to talk to media, talk on events, to get more developer excited. And also I also spend like around 4 hours to learning the new opportunity and the new trend, new technology in the space. So and the rest of the time is just replicate those efforts.
There's always more work to do.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Fantastic. Well, Justin, thanks for taking the time to talk to me today. I really appreciate it. I know it's a busy week. There's a lot going on, and as you say,
Yes,
you've got there's so much that you're working on, so much work
yes,
still to do. But thank you for this, and enjoy the rest of your time in Singapore. And I hope we can talk again soon in the future.
yes, definitely. Thank you.